If you are like me, sometimes when you're reading a book or article, your mind starts to wander and you think or daydream about other things. But then when you refocus back on the book, you go like, wait, what did I just read? Sometimes, even when I'm trying really hard to pay attention, I still don't understand what I'm reading. In order to avoid this, we must monitor and clarify our reading. This is the 5th video in the series, Foundations of Reading Comprehension. The goal is to teach you how to become an active participant in the reading process. I want to invite you to join the challenge, and let's get started. What does it mean to monitor our reading? When we monitor something, we watch closely to make sure we understand. As you read, stop and ask yourself this: do I understand what I just read? Sometimes we don't know until we ask ourselves. Quick confession, sometimes I don't know I have bad breath until I check. It's the same thing with reading. We don't know something's tough to understand unless we check. If you stop and check and you understand what you're reading, then keep going. If not, we want to put our detective hats on and start asking ourselves these questions. Am I having trouble with a big word? Am I confused by one sentence or idea? Am I puzzled by a whole section or paragraph? Or am I confused by everything I read on the page? Once we've located the part of the reading that's tough to understand, we now have to clarify it. We need to make it more clear and easier to read. I want you to think about all the tips I'm about to teach you like tools in your toolbox. For example, when a construction worker needs to fix something, he sometimes uses a hammer and other times uses a screwdriver. When you need to make your book easier to read, use any of the tips I'm about to teach you. First, just reread the part of the book or article that you don't understand. Reread it multiple times and try to ask yourself this: why don't I understand this? Second, try summarizing with the 5 W's. I covered this in the last video, but try asking yourself these questions. Who is this about? What is happening? When or where is it happening? And why is it happening? Third, try reading ahead. The author might reveal information or help explain the hard parts. Sometimes reading what happens next can help you understand what you just read. Now, if there's a word that's really tough or that you don't understand, here's what you can do. Look at any pictures or images in the reading. They can give you clues to the meaning of the word. For example, "That duckling is pooing on my polish," said Mixie. If we don't know what the word polish means, we can look at the picture and see where the duckling is pooing. Polish must mean the clean paint job. Next, try replacing the tough word with a word you do know and see if it fits. The trucks had a callous attitude towards the duckling. Let's replace the word callous with nice. The trucks had a nice attitude towards the duckling. I don't think that fits. Let's try this. The trucks had a mean attitude towards the duckling. Maybe callous has something to do with being mean. That makes more sense. Replacing the word is a great way to get a feeling of what the word means. Next, try reading the sentence without the word and see if you can guess the meaning. Sometimes if you leave the word out, your brain will automatically try to replace it with a word that makes sense. The trucks took every opportunity to deride the duckling. What does deride mean? The trucks took every opportunity to blink the duck for bothering them all day long. Maybe complain or make fun of? That seems to make sense. Next, reread the sentence. "She's more than a nuisance," said Crane. "That duckling is trouble." Even if you don't know what the word nuisance means, you know it has something to do with causing trouble. Try rereading the sentence and look for a word that's a synonym or an antonym. A synonym is a word that means the same thing, and an antonym is a word that means the opposite. Check out these examples. The trucks felt pure enmity for the duckling. They hated her with all their might. The second sentence gives us a synonym, hate. Enmity must mean feelings of strong hatred. The trucks felt that they were coerced into taking care of the duck. They were not free to do what they wanted. Coerced must mean the opposite of free. So I think it means they had no choice. Lastly, if none of that worked, stop and look up the word. I would do this last because it's really important to learn how to figure things out on your own. In a nutshell, stop and ask yourself if you understand what you're reading, and if you don't, use one of the tools I just taught you. Now, here's the challenge. Find some books or articles that you enjoy and read them. As you read, stop and ask yourself, do I understand what I'm reading? Make sure to monitor your understanding. If so, then keep reading. If not, try to figure out what part of the reading is confusing to you. Then, use one of our clarifying skills to make the reading easier for you to understand. You have to teach yourself to become aware of when you're confused or struggling. So practice, practice, practice. Make sure to smash the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.